Well, hello there, YouTube. Believe it or not, I'm in Toledo, Washington. And no, we did not escape the forest fires. Well, the smoke from them anyway. They're all around us. But we're getting the smoke. We got one right on the backside of Mount St. Helens there. There's an app, God, what's the thing called? It's called Fire Around You or something like that. It's an iPhone app. Just type in fire into the search and it'll pull up. It's got just like a red and orange flame. But anyway, there's one down there by Salem, where Salem through Portland was absolutely the worst. And there's one on the backside of Mount St. Helens over in that area. So what do? What's the first thing you do after literally an hour after you return from a 2,000-mile trip on the Spyder? You jump on the Iron 883. I don't know what my compulsion is. Every time I go for a trip or any kind of long ride, I just have this undying desire to jump on the iron and go for a ride. It's just like it's like an unwinding thing. I have no idea. Kelly goes, there's no way. After what we just went through and all that smoke today, that you're about to jump on a motorcycle and go for a ride. And I said, yes, ma'am, I am. I'm going to drive out here. The Threshing Bee is going on today and tomorrow. Today is August the 22nd, and it's going on again tomorrow. And Kelly and I are going to do a selfish ride, as it's been dubbed. We're both going to put on our open face helmets, a pair of sunglasses, and we're going to ride the street glide to this event and go walk around and see what's going on. I don't feel like going. I'd like to just take a nice ride and let the wind blow through my face. It's been well over a year since I've taken a ride with an open face helmet. And even though the colors are 100 miles off from the bike, the colors are kind of maroon. Kelly actually bought us those helmets about 14 or 15 years ago, right after I got the Venture. They're almost an exact color match. And I got to drive like a judge's wife because I forgot to update the tabs that expired July 5th. So I'm driving with well over a month expired tabs. And there's a couple of police officers that come through here, but also, because this is State Route 505, it's also patrolled by the state police. So there's no forgiveness with them boys. The local boys get me, they know who I am, and well, they'll probably still write me a ticket. You either pay it or you take time off from work, and I got to go clear to Chehalis, to the Lewis County courthouse there to, try to get it reduced or whatever. So it's pretty stupid to ride this thing. But I did, the tabs for my street glide were in our mail, our bulk mail. So the strangest thing, and we can't figure out who's doing it, because well, anyway, we got a gal that comes over that's familiar with horses, coming over a couple of times a day to check on the dogs and the horses and stuff. Well, she texted us here a couple of days ago, and she was going, well, somebody else is he goes, was there somebody else supposed to be taking care of the horses as well? Or, somebody's been over at your house. we're thinking, well, no, you know, it's probably what's-her-face coming and going, you know. Nope. So somebody, and we can't figure out who, has been coming over and feeding the dogs and filling the horses' water, topping it off. Because Kelly's friend comes over and the water's topped off. Well, then she texts us today. She comes over. Not only is it topped off, but the thing, they left the water on and just literally tried to empty our well. We have, you know, so sometime between last night and early today when she came back. So we don't know if they did it last night after but she's topping the water off too. It just doesn't make any sense. So they had to have done it today, but left the damn water on and had, you know, Lake Irwin out there behind our barn because the water's been sitting there running this, you know, for hours on end. You don't need your well running wide open when you when it hasn't rained in however many months. Oh, look at that. There's 2 sheriffs sitting right there. But needless to say, you're not going to see Mount St. Helens because she is completely covered. I mean, the fire's out there somewhere, and it's just absolutely, you can't see nothing out there. Some of you guys go, well, we never see anything out there anyway, so what the hell difference is that, you know? But you're not going to see it now. You're not going to see it for a while, I'm afraid. You know, I got this car riding at, I think it's 50 through here. I'm going below the speed limit, loafing along on the iron. But anyway, I thought I'd take you guys along for my little after-trip ride, which is becoming a tradition now. It's literally the first, I come back with the Indian last month when I came back from that ride. And that was 3,000 miles. Come back from that ride, and first thing I do, jump on the iron and take a ride. Last year when I got back from Durango in the Spyder, I took the iron for a ride. Last year when I got back, literally within a half an hour after getting back from the Utah trip, I was on the iron and riding around. But the trip was great. We had a fantastic time. The first 2 days we broke up an easy one-day trip. It's a 10-hour ride to Grants Pass down I-5, and then from Grants Pass to Eureka down 199 and 101. So pretty easy ride. Oh, I've got something way wrong here. Did this thing get canceled because of the fires? Or I got it mixed up and it's next week. What is today? Oh, you know what? It's next week. Yeah, it's the end of the month. Why was I thinking it was the 22nd, 23rd? Oh well, that's even cooler yet. I haven't missed anything. Because usually you want to go to this thing on a Saturday because that's when it's peaked out. Sunday, a lot of the people, depending on how Saturday goes, you know, they kind of get a sense for the crowd, you know, and they bail out. And it's usually people that don't have a lot of stuff anyway, but the bigger, you can see they've already got it all gated off here and partitioned. It's where all the vendors will all be in along those barrels. Tons of stuff. Man, if you're anywhere around here and you like antique little trinkety things, you'll really enjoy that. It's pretty cool. But it's just, I mean, literally it's old antique stuff. If you're not into that kind of thing, and the other thing, it's got a bunch of really, really cool old steam engines and old tractors and steam operated sometimes out there. Yeah, they even have steam operated ones. Steam operated farm equipment. And anyway, they just have tons of really cool old stuff that's just everywhere. They have tractor pulls, and which is interesting. You take them old Johnny Poppers out there and do tractor pulls. The whole thing's fun. Just a bunch of good old wholesome country folk, you know. Little small town thing, but the vendors out there, like I say, if you like this old antique and like really old tools and just all kinds of different things, but it's all old stuff, and it's almost all of it's for sale. The old saying goes, anything's for sale, but a lot of the stuff, you know, these little miniature steam engines and stuff like that the guys have out there, it's just their hobbies. But anyway, I find it very fascinating. So obviously it's now, I swear that sign said 2223. I can guarantee it has to be something with the fires that that bug just tagged me right over my right eye. That sucks. Don't even get the ride in going yet, and I get tagged by a big old bee. But anyway, the first 3 days we spent with, I drove down with, there was 9 of us all together that drove down to, they stayed in Blue Lake. Some of them stayed in Arcata, and then we stayed in Eureka. It's just the only reason we stayed in Eureka is because at the last moment when we decided for sure we're going, everything was booked up. We literally got the last room at the Motel 6, and when I was checking in, there was just people after people after people after people coming in. We're sorry, do you have reservations? No, sorry, we're booked up. Everybody's booked up. I mean, all the people, please, you gotta have something. Everyone in town's booked up. You know, all they can say is, you know, they're sorry. But it's, I guess there's a couple of colleges there. I had no idea about that. I had no idea. But that's what I kept hearing people saying is, kids are starting college, and I guess they're, you know, taking hotel rooms until they sort out dorms or apartments or wherever they're going to live. I had no idea. But there was a ton of college kids around everywhere. I mean, clearly college kids. Freshmen, you know. And you can see there's parents with them and poor kids. But, you know, that's the way it is. You're only 18 or 19 years old, or younger, depending on, you know, your personal situation. But yeah, that place was booked up solid. And some, you know, I had a couple of people tell me that you need to book something fast or you're not going to find anything. And I go, why is that? And they goes, well, a bunch of college kids come through and rent up all the rooms. I go, college kids? And I go, what's going on with that? And they didn't seem to have they weren't really sure either. The answer they gave me didn't make any sense. I don't know. But of course, then the Spyder event's going on. But most people, you know, you sign up initially, and I think you pay a fee. I forget what the initial fee was, but you know, I couldn't sign up for 2 reasons. It was, you know, it was like an owner's event combined with, you know, the Redwoods. So you had to, I'm assuming it was like the Rango. You had to register your bike. Maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, that was a fun ride down there. Had a good time. Look at the for sale sign still outside this thing. She still left just sitting like she was. Burnt to a cinder. What a shame. But on the 3rd day, we all go out, you know, 17 miles, took us like 20 minutes to get there. from Eureka to the Blue Lake Casino in Blue Lake, California. And something had happened. I never got the details. And I probably shouldn't badmouth anything or whatever, because I don't know all the details. But what I do know is, for whatever reason, BRP was a no-show. They pulled out. And then apparently the vendors, a bunch of the vendors that were supposed to be there either knew they were going to pull out, or because of all the forest fires around, they pulled out. You know, I don't know the details at all. I just heard people talking about different vendors that were supposed to be there that never showed up. And, you know, nobody was informed that, you know, this thing was just going to basically unfold itself. So what you've seen when I was there, that was it. Now, you can't go by the number of Spyders that were there, because they were having these huge rides where, you know, like 30 bikes at a time would take off. And they had like there's three different routes. And they were all looked like they were around 200-mile runs. So you're going to be gone for several hours, most of the day. So, and a similar thing happened at the owners event last year in Durango. You got there and you're like, where's all the Spyders? Even though there was a ton of Spyders there, you know, just massive groups of these people take off and go on these rides. And, you know, and they go on the rides and you stop and, you know, everybody kind of mingles together and they go through, you know, they went through the, what's the something of giants there, the big redwood, the little route you run through there, and the, you know, the drive-through tree, which Kelly and I went to. And I said, anyway, there's all these different events, and you get together, and you have all this camaraderie, yada yada. You know, everybody has a great time, and you know, it is fun going and doing those things with a whole group of people. Look at the old barn in the haze of the forest fires. Still looks good. So that was Tuesday, was the first day of the Spyders in the Redwoods event, and there was quite a few people that I heard talking that they weren't very happy, that, you know, they had spent that money, you know, used up a vacation, you know, been looking forward to this for eons. I mean, I really was looking forward to this thing myself. I was really expecting, I mean, the way this thing was talked up, it was going to be huge. You know, BRP was a financial backer of the event, and I just kept hearing more and more people, and there was way more people, like I say, than what you've seen there. That was just people hanging around. Almost all of them were on one of 3 rides, you know, and there was like however many rides, and all the rides for that day booked up almost immediately. The deer out in that field, if there's any chance you can see that. You need to watch while I'm looking at one deer, another one jumps out in front of me. So on Wednesday, Kelly and I decided, well, we're going to go out to go see the tree, you know, the drive-through tree. Well, it's, you know, it's quite a ride south for that, you know. And we, just because we didn't know what this, you know, once bitten, twice shy kind of a thing, we go to Durango, and I think it was kind of a bust too, you know. Now, it was a huge affair with BRP, and they put on a huge show, and, you know, and everybody got together, you know, for the banquet and all kinds of cool stuff. So it was really cool, you know, what they did. But for, you know, someone that's not part of the event, because I couldn't register the demo because I'm not an owner, it's an owner's event, you know, so I can't participate in all the stuff. But it was cool seeing all this, you know, a bunch of Spyder employees that I, you know their name and got to meet them, and oddly enough, there's people that knew me that I didn't know. That was kind of bizarre, but anyway, that was cool. but it was more of an owner's event. Well, the Spyders in Redwoods was supposed to be, just the Spyders in a Redwood event, which is just a huge spider gathering, but yet it was also going to be an owner's event, so it was going to be kind of grouped together as one big thing. So finally this was supposed to be the big one, for the Spyders in the Redwoods. And man, it wasn't very thrilling. It was cool meeting a bunch of people, don't get me wrong. I mean, the whole getting together thing was fantastic, but as an event, that thing was poorly handled. Whatever reason BRP backed out, I have no idea. Like I say, it could have been the forest fires too, Maybe they thought people weren't going to show up, so they decided to back out. I do not know any of the details. I don't know any of the details why, these additional vendors are supposed to be there and didn't show up. There was literally like 3 or 4 vendors there. I mean, they had a huge parking lot set up for all these vendors, and nothing showed up. It was very, very, very quiet. But I did have fun. I got to give it that. It was worth going to, even though it was a bit of a disappointment for me and quite a few others. It was still fun to go to. So we decide not to stay another night, and we we got a couple of nights in Bodega Bay, in Bodega Bay, California, because Kelly wanted to see the lighthouse and whatever we could see from the fog, because she loves that movie, and she just wanted to go see that lighthouse, And then there were certain scenes from the fog, the original one, 1980, and there were certain scenes from that were filmed in Bodega Bay, and I don't, did I say Bodega? It's Bodega Bay. It's one of those things, you don't watch it, you'll twist it around. Well, I do anyway. But anyway, we just thought that'd be a really cool place to stay. We found this really cool hotel and suite, and we decided to stay there for a couple of days, and that was fantastic. That was really fun. God, that was so cool. And we went out and seen the lighthouse and seen different things, from the birds, which is Bodega Bay is more famous for the filming of the birds in 1963 than anything else. But that was fun. It's fun to go see those things. And at the very end, we seen the school where Tippi Hedren goes to, the school that's there. There's a church in the background. We found that actually as we were leaving to head to San Francisco. And all the riding we did around there was fantastic. Beautiful, going down Highway 1, Pacific Coast Highway. Just gorgeous. There's so much of that I didn't film that, her and I were just having a ball, just her and I off camera, In fact, we were having so much fun off camera, it was kind of odd when we did turn the camera on, because it just felt like, almost like we were forced to say something. It was like, oh, we gotta put something on film. Well, we kind of talked ourselves out. There was really nothing. There wasn't a whole lot more to talk about, but I haven't looked through that stuff. It still should be cool. And San Francisco, went goofing around there, took the old Spyder down Lombard, and took Kelly to Chinatown, and we spent way too much time in Chinatown, which put us in Friday afternoon traffic. We were stuck in traffic for about 3 hours. That wasn't fun, which forced us to end up at our hotel in Weed, California at 11:30 last night. And then we got up at 6 o'clock this morning and bailed out. We left about 8, which wasn't early, but both of us were dragging butt. I know it was after 1 when I went to bed. I didn't do anything with videos. I just uploaded stuff and plugged everything in to charge them. So that's all I did. And I think she went to bed somewhere around 12:30, quarter to 1. So we were a little slow going. And then the ride back through all the forest, I mean, everything was fantastic until we started entering the forest fires, and man, it got so intense in a couple of areas. And man, around Salem, poor Giant Midget Moto, he's living right in the middle of that. That was pretty bad in there. That was real bad. But I think we finally got used to it. And it was still thick as thieves when we got to Portland. And it just kept, well, you can still see it's thicker than what it was on the ride down. You know, we went past the forest fire, but it was nothing as bad as this. It's still pretty thick, but we're real close to one. And the winds aloft must be pushing it in a way that it's coming back to us. You know, you look like you're, oh my God. It literally took you all the way down that hill to the side you're going to take that left-hand turn. People do the most bizarre things. You ever notice that? But anyway, I'm just dead tired. But I did want to get out on the iron and ride it. She's always so much fun. Even though I didn't horse around, because you pretty much been on it while I've been riding it. But I got that out of my system. I went in the shop and unlocked the shop, and I left the Spyder out because the shop is, oh man, it's like 55 degrees in there. That thing retains the cold. If you don't open them doors or put a hot vehicle in there, that thing just, it's colder than an air conditioner. It feels so good in there. In fact, it gets so cool in there that the thermostat's set for 61. It'll actually turn the heater on at times. So you just got to turn everything off. You know, you get those nights where it dips down the low 50s and damn heater will come on. But I like it to do that because, you know, during the day you can walk out there, you know, no matter what, no matter how hot you get, you can walk in that shop and just go, oh Lord, this feels so good. Anyway, this had to be a crazy long vlog, and a beat around the bush trying to talk about the ride and the trip and everything. Kelly she did fine, the bike did fine, even though it was a little freaky breathing all the smoke in the places where it was really intense. We did fine. Temperatures didn't get too hot, although, you know, it was around 86 in places, and that just seemed so much hotter than 86. Probably because, you know, you're breathing in, you know, forest fire crap. Like Kelly says, all our clothes and everything's gonna smell like a house burnt down or something, you know. You know, your clothes, if you find some clothes you didn't wash or whatever after going on a camping trip, it smells like a campfire. So this is gonna do a Harley of some sort there. A Harley, another Harley, and another Harley. Hey, I actually seen 3 different Indians this trip, and all 3 of them were Roadmasters. They're top of the line one that Indian sells. That was pretty cool. Last time I went to California, never seen any of the large Indians, not a single one the entire trip. Seen 2 Scouts, and both of them were parked and nobody around it. And that was it. And the people that, you know, the older folks loved the Chieftain I was riding. They thought it was really cool. The younger guys all asked, you know, have you ridden the Scout? I said, yeah. They're not interested in the classic ones at all. But the older folks sure are. Boy, are they really interested in them. But anyway, that's a long vlog, long loop around the whole road. But I took you along for my little joyride on the iron after a long trip. Not that 2,000 miles is that long. I mean, that's probably one of the shorter ones I've done yet, but still, that's a good haul. To pack all that stuff with your wife, and we didn't camp out or anything. We decided we wouldn't have enough stuff to camp out, no room to put it. So unless we took a trailer with us, the camping was out. I mean, we barely got our stuff in. I minimized my computer and camera gear. So yeah, that's pretty tough for two people to have a week's worth of stuff in even in an RT. But I mean, we not only did it and did it fine, we still found that we overpacked even yet. So if you're wise with your packing and what you bring, oh heck yeah. But all the stuff we bought from Chinatown, we found a UPS place and boxed it all up. But it was a UPS place, and we get the box and we're boxing everything up, and we realized we just boxed it all up in a FedEx box. So anyway, we meant to send it UPS, but it went FedEx. Either way, it'll make it to the house. So we wish we would have had a bunch of other stuff, that little trinkets that we bought. We could have shipped the whole thing home. But that was a lot of fun walking around San Francisco. My legs are going to kill me for several days. Man, oh man, did we walk up some steep hills. But anyway, way too long of a video. I do need to let you guys go. If you guys watched the series of our road trip, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find it fascinating. I have no idea what all I have there. I had no Wi-Fi, or I had Wi-Fi, but very, very weak, and all but one night I had just like 2 bars of 4G, so I didn't even bother trying to build a video. It was Kelly and I's time too, so I wasn't going to waste time doing videos on our time off. So I'll be looking at that here in the coming days and see what we can get going here. So thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming for a ride on the iron. And we'll chit chat with you guys later. Take care now. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.